Today on FTRTV, I'm going to show you how to disperse your flow really easily across your tank using this. G'day everyone, my name is David Mai and welcome back to First Time Reefer TV, and today we are back at my custom 8x4 water box tank and we're going to have a look at dispersing the flow from my Deltec return pumps back into the tank. Now if you guys have been following my channel for a little while, you know that I am a huge fan of the Vivid Creative Aquatics Random Flow Generators. On my Cade, I picked this as being one of the best upgrades that I did for my tank, and they're incredibly cheap. It's not expensive at all. This allows you to disperse your flow across your tank really well, rather than just having that jet stream coming out of your return pump. This allows it to just flutter around your tank and get that beautiful water movement without having any moving parts or extra pumps or anything like that. So these are 3D printed. They come on a little bit of lock line as well. So this one here is the 32mm attached to their 1-inch lock line. You can see that they're absolutely massive. Now, the great thing about this is there is no moving parts inside to get this water fluttering around, and I'll show you guys in a second how it disperses the water. When you're using this, you do want to make sure that your pump is rated appropriately for the size of RFG that you're using, but also that your pump has that little bit of extra oomph as well, because this is going to just cut down the flow a little bit, and I'll show you once I install it on this tank. But what you make up in the random flow patterns that you can get into your tank, it's well and truly worth it in my opinion. So at the moment, the return pumps here, you can see that they're just running out of straight out of the elbow there, and I've got 2 of these to go into the tank. Now this was designed, the 3D fitting here is designed to go over a 32mm PVC pipe, but I think that might be the US measurement because it didn't quite fit exactly over what I've got. I don't know what the difference is, but I've been able to just make up some fittings. I know this is white, but I'm going to be able to paint that to be black like the rest of the plumbing, and a little adapter as well. So the great thing about this lock line is you can actually move this any way that you want. I mean, in a tank my size, it's probably not as incredibly as important, but in the smaller tanks, being able to direct your flow across your tank is, like, for me, absolutely crucial. So then you're not blasting the coral, you can randomize your flow into the right spots of your tank. These are the single versions as well. They do come in a dual outlet, which I am running on my Cade display, and that allows me to get 2 directions of random flow. But this one, I really want the flow to just shoot straight down the end of the tank there, and hopefully it comes back, because obviously it's a peninsular tank. So we'll chuck it on now. Now you're going to see that I'm going to have to adjust the return pumps to increase their flow a little bit, because this does restrict it. So I'm going to get it on one end. You're going to hear a little bit of, you're going to hear a little bit of noise coming from the weir. So it just fits over the top there. You're probably going to see the fluttering happen. You can see there. We'll come back and forth. I'll get one on the other side as well. And then I'll probably change the angle of the camera so we can see straight down the guts of the tank. So we'll get it installed on this side. You can see the action on the water surface there has changed dramatically. Now I'm going to just, I'm going to increase the, look at that ripple action. I am going to increase the return pump just a little bit, just to get that up to the correct height. All right, so I've got the weir dialed in now. I've had to increase the pumps up to 75 from 55 watts. but you can see the surface ripple action is completely different. It's much more randomized. You'll see these blooping up every now and then, but I've also attached an air pump over there so you guys can see the action of having the random flow generator on versus just having a straight outlet. But you can see the water, I've got it shooting straight down the side of the tanks here, and then it's essentially coming back up the middle. The water was really settled before, but since adding these RFGs on, it's starting to stir up a little bit of the detritus that was settled in there. And you've got to remember, this is running the tank without any of the wave makers yet either. So this is purely just return pump flow with the random flow generators. Obviously in a tank this big, we do have to go the larger nozzles, but these are a fantastic and very, very inexpensive upgrade for your tanks at home as well. But you can see that beautiful action across the water, and I can actually see the water going down in the water trying to come back as well, which is creating those turbulence points against the flow that's going down the tank. So ideally running it down the side, the front and back panes of the glass, I'm trying to get it to shoot straight down here. As it's fluttering down, it's going to come back and then create those little turbulence points as well when the flow coming back is hitting the flow going down. So as a result, you can see in the tank that it is stirring up a whole bunch of detritus, and it's all moving differently now. The stuff that was compared to the stuff that was settled before, which we should probably hear the roller sock, the filter mat click on just any time soon now with all of this gunk that's going back down there. But like I said, just a fantastic upgrade to really randomize your flow. You can see how much it's actually fluttering, and that's still only the pumps running just over 50% of what they were. And you can see, yeah, the fluttering action is fantastic. It's something that I love watching happen on the tank. But you can see that beautiful action just going straight down and on the surface there. So this is going to probably alleviate either how strong I need to run my wave makers or how many wave makers I actually need to run in the tank, because this is allowing that great flow. So I've got an air pump connected to the one over on the far side there, so I'm going to reposition the camera so you guys can see the action of the water versus with the random flow generator, and then the water without the random flow generator. So just give me 1 second. All right, so I've got a little air pump hooked up to just aerate the water just in front of the return pump. So I'm going to take off that random flow generator first so you can see the action that comes off it when it's just the straight end pipe. So we'll take that off there. It'll probably be easier to have you set up on the other side so you can see it a lot closer, but the glare that's coming off the glass is just making it near on impossible. So we're viewing it on the back end here. I'll just turn on the air pump. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see that. It's a pretty weak air pump, so there's not a heap of air going through there, but it gives you an idea of the flow just coming straight out of the elbow like that. It's just coming out in a straight force. You can see there's not much action to it at all, but there is an incredible amount of flow there. If we get these on now, so you can see that it's shooting the air all over the place like that. And that's what it does. This is what the RFGs do. They can disperse the water, you can see like that, but without any moving parts inside that can break or seize up or anything like that. And that's why I'm such a huge fan. Because it just randomizes that flow and it just changes the flow patterns in the tank. Once this is full of coral, it's going to get the polyps of the coral moving fantastic. I wish I had 2 air pumps so we could put one on either side so you could really see how much it randomizes everything. But let me take you up here. You sort of see that movement here. Look at that. That's what I love watching. And completely random. So if you guys haven't checked out the Random Flow Generators from VCA, I suggest that you go and check them out because they are a fantastic way of dispersing that flow across your tank and getting that wave-like action and almost like a wave maker, but without you know, blasting your coral directly. As you can see from that surface, and the constant bloops from here, that's just a wave going backwards and forwards with no moving parts on this thing. So if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button, and my friends, until next time, peace.